Lucas,
What?
play the music, mate. Let's get into it.
What music? Oh, you mean editing Lucas.
Yeah.
Editing Lucas.
I've got real Lucas here tonight.
Yeah,
and
but
editing Lucas is just gone.
Well, because if you say Lucas play the music, I'm thinking, shit, am I meant to play the music? So you want editing Lucas to put the music in, right?
Sorry, I'm just used to just saying Lucas because you're just editing Lucas usually.
Yeah, but you have to differentiate the two. They're two different roles.
I know.
3, 2, 1, 0.
We recommend wearing headphones. This
is the Aussie Gamers
Experience. News, reviews, and outlandish fun. Experience it all.
What's up, everyone, and thanks for joining us for episode 250 of the Aussie Gamers Experience podcast. Today is Monday, the 18th of March, 2019. I am your host, Snoogs, and joining me for hosting duties tonight is Grejio and Lucas.
Hello.
Hey, boys.
Sup?
Welcome to 250.
250.
Ooh. It's a nice little milestone to run through, isn't it?
It is, mini milestone.
Yeah, well, and
There's
even
nothing mini about it, mate.
Oh, mini in the fact that it's 50 between the 100 milestone, but it is a big thing because it's 250. There's so many podcasts that die in the arse early on, but no, cracking on.
And at the same time, there's a mini one of this is my 50th episode.
Yes.
Yes.
50th.
Yes, very good.
I mean, if you exclude all the times that I haven't rocked up because I'm sick or whatnot.
50 works.
It's 50.
He's done 8 shows.
Yeah. Well, in this show, Snoogs has been activated and he is a little chuffed. The devil is still crying, rising of blood pressure and trials. It's time for adventure, 250 under the belt, and much, much more. So, boys, how about we just jump straight in? What do you reckon?
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right, this week in gaming, all the way back in 2008, Rainbow Six Vegas 2 was released by Ubisoft.
Back when Ubisoft made games I liked.
Well, that answers my first question. So, did both of you play it, or just yourself, Lucas?
Yeah, I think I played that one from memory.
I played it a lot. I played all the Rainbow Six games a lot. So, yeah.
Villa terrorist hunt. That was awesome.
I can remember, I think it was one of the first ones where you actually got to scale like upside down the side of a building and like smash in through a window. So where you actually had to jump off the window and launch in
the casino hotel.
Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It was running on Unreal Engine 3 and it actually scored an 81 Metacritic score, which is not too bad for a first-person shooter.
That's a good game. It was kind of like a first/third person shooter, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I think when you aimed down sights, it went first person, didn't it?
Yeah, and like you when you sort of backed up to a wall, the camera would be facing you. Yeah, it was a bizarre thing, but it worked. I thought it was good.
Yeah, well, from what I was reading before, and I haven't had time to look into it more. It was one of the first games where you were able to actually completely customize your online character.
Yeah, I think you could do the face scan thing too with that, couldn't you? With a camera, if you had the camera.
Well, yeah.
It was horrible. It worked absolutely terribly.
Oh,
everyone was a monster.
Yeah. But yeah, I believe you could. I never had the camera, so I couldn't do it, which is probably a good thing because, scarred childhoods and stuff.
Well, let's start the show, eh?
Let's do it.
So,
we haven't
first
started.
Up, we've got some game talk. Well, I meant jump into this part, Mr. Picky. Before I'm letting you guys talk, g'day to Az, Kazza, and Skrill over in the chat. Welcome. No, Kazza, it's not gamey talk. It's just game. All right. Greg, let's get your weekly out of the way. Forza.
Yeah, look, unlike the last couple of weeks, I actually have a lot to talk about. So
when do you not have much to talk about?
Well, normally it's, I did the weekly, I did some liveries, I did some Instagram. That's about it. This week, Forza actually updated its game in a big way. So it introduced what is called the festival playlist. This will give people. I know I'm not going to say it gives them a lot more to play. I think it just gives them a lot more incentive to play more of the game, as well as adding some stuff to the game. So what this essentially does is it wraps up all the sort of things you can do in the game. So you got Forzathon, the daily challenges, the co-op championship, the seasonal championships, the seasonal playground games, and some new stuff, and pretty much bundles it into a playlist. And for everything you tick off, everything you do in that playlist, it gives you a percentage for the season. So at the moment, this week is summer. So they got the summer playlist. And once you reach 50% of all the things done, they give you a new car. This month's is the Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5, which is a brand new car. It's not available any other way. You have to do the playlist. So that's the long and short of it. The new stuff that they've added is they've got a thing called the Showcase Remix. Essentially, all they've done is they've taken the showcases that you originally did when you first started playing the game, and they're changing up the car that you use and the season that it's done in. I mean, there's not a great deal I can do to remix it, so to speak. So this month is the train challenge. So for those that have played it will remember you had to race a train, the Flying Scotsman, in a aerial atom in the snow. Well, they've remixed it, and you now have to do it in a Ford Anglia in the spring. So it's all muddy. Now, why Ford Anglia? For those that don't know what a Ford Anglia is, you will know what it is. You just don't know it by name. It's the flying car out of Harry Potter. So you have to race a train.
Ford POS. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Still don't know what it is.
Still don't know. Yeah, that's right. So clearly you didn't watch Harry
just
Potter.
Go with the POS bit, mate. That'll put it in perspective.
So obviously they're going with this kind of this race that's giving it a bit of a Harry Potter theme. So just another kind of cool little thing they've done to spice it up. So they've also added more seasonal PR stunts. So this week it's there's a danger sign, a speed trap, and a speed zone. If you hit the designated targets for those, you'll get a super wheel spin for each of them, as well as adding to your seasonal event. If you get 100% for this season, I shouldn't say month, and I'll explain why in a second. You'll get the Porsche 9146, which is a really old Porsche. All right, now if you complete the season, good for you. You get both cars and a bunch of wheel spins and money and stuff. But then it adds to what is called the greater festival playlist. So the festival playlist is made up of all 4 seasons. So this is kind of like a monthly event. Your seasonal events are your weekly events, and the festival playlist is now your monthly. And once again, it works on the same principle. Once you reach 50% of the content for the month, you will get the Ferrari F50 GT this month. And if you complete the whole thing, you'll get the Ford Capri Forza Edition car. So, which up until now, the only way you could have gotten that car is if you'd gotten to the top tier in their ranked online adventure mode. So you have to actually PvP it and in ranked and get to the top tier to win that car. So now it's just another way of people being able to get sort of what we be classified, I guess, as end game content in the game without having to do ranked PvP, because I can tell you right now, you still have to do PvP as an element of the weekly grind, and you've just got to qualify for ranked. You don't actually have to race in ranked. Well, you're still racing in ranked, but you don't actually have to compete in tiers. You just have to qualify it. But to qualify it, you still have to complete 10 online adventures, which
that sounds like too much work.
Look, I
got other shit to play. Shit that's new.
And look, it's not for you. It's for the diehards. It's for the people that want stuff to do. They want that weekly, monthly grind. They're sick of coming up with their own stuff to do. They want a bit more of a funneled pathway. That's really who it's for. With the rank stuff, I smashed out 5 online adventures. That took me about 2.5 hours. About half an hour per thing, depending on how quickly you win. It takes about 10 minutes roughly per event, and it's a best of 5. So if you play out all 5 events, if you drag out to all 5 events, it can take a little bit longer. But if you beat them in 3 rounds, then it's about half an hour.
I haven't booted that game up in months.
Yeah, look, the same. I actually think I've deleted it because I needed the room.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, it's terrible as it is.
It's a car game. Unless you're just a car enthusiast and you bought your Xbox just for that game. Oh, I can't. That's too much shit. Anyway, did you do anything else other than Forza?
I did.
Oh, we'll get around to that. I want to hear about your time with the devil, Lucas.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah. What, you want me to talk about Devil May Cry 5?
Yeah, because, we've both played it now. I've got my written review, which is up on the Aussie Gamers Experience website, and I'd like to hear your side of it.
All right, I got something I want to say just before I start, but for that, I'm going to have to back up really far away from the microphone. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to,
blow everything up.
Yeah. Oh, let's have my headphones off.
You got to go that far back.
Fuck that fucking game!
Here's some music about the play.
Okay.
Oh, no.
All right.
What?
All right.
Right. No, you can't play the music, all right? It's not allowed.
All right. And look, I want to start off with saying, okay, yes, all right, I'm a noob. I'm no good at the game. There's going to be get goods and all that sort of coming my way for this opinion. But fuck off, that game just does not feel. I don't feel like a powerful boss, and it's not easy to play. Like, I can't even work out if I'm doing anything right. Sorry, Skrill, I've broken his phone speaker. I did back off away trying to avoid that. What's the word I want? Like, where it's easy to work out, like it's I use the word all the time. No. Fuck, what's that stupid? Like, it's not user-friendly.
Not intuitive.
Not intuitive, thank you. That is the word I was looking for, and I would have went fucking mental if I couldn't think of it. Thank you. The intuitive nature of that game is completely gone out the window. I'll pull off all these fucking amazing, beautiful things. I'm like, wow, padan, and it's going, oh, sick. It's still like giving me S rank for that and this and that, and I've done fuck all damage. What the fuck? I put it on. There was 2 options for difficulties when I started the game, right? One was like...
Yep.
What was the first one?
Human and Devil Hunter.
Human and Devil Hunter. There's 2. Hunter. Yeah, there's 2 difficulties. I thought I'll go with a Demon Hunter because that seems like the normal way to play it. That's fucking impossible. Like, I managed through the first few bosses. I got up to the one inside what looks like a library or something like that was throwing all these purple orbs at me and shit, and just got
the one with the scissors.
Oh no, that wasn't. They're not bosses, are they? Just after you meet the ones with the scissors. I killed them. They're they're like little mini tank characters. But I just kept dying and it was like I couldn't work it out. And I'm just like I'm doing combos. and I'm doing damage, but I can't dodge properly. And this time around, because I played DMC, this time around I actually used my red orbs to upgrade shit, unlike when I played DMC. I didn't actually realise you could upgrade anything. I still finished that, mind you. But playing this one, it just does not feel intuitive whatsoever. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It can't be like... I'm not playing it on a super hard mode, because I think those modes come after you finish the game. And it was just so,
like New Game Plus type mode.
Yeah, and it was just so fucking hard to work out what to do right. And then, if that wasn't frustrating enough, the game loads every 5 seconds and gives you a cutscene every 10 seconds, and then loads after the cutscene. Mate, the game just sent me mad. I was going insane. Oh, slow down, mate. Fucking 50 speed limit where he is. And everything just pissed me off about it. Like, I sucked at it. It was hard. They loaded too much, and cutscenes are plenty. Just let me friggin' play the game and make it a bit more fun. I don't like it. I don't like it.
The cutscenes are a bit much.
Just too much.
Yeah, it's... See, Kaz has written in the chat, you need to do a Snoogs and play it on easy. Yeah, I played it on easy. I picked human. I haven't played Devil May Cry in so long that I didn't want to get frustrated with it. I just wanted to try and smash into it and enjoy it. So I got, human mode, and then when it came up to ask about the combos, I put it on auto.
I found because I realised I accidentally put it on auto, because when you're playing, if you hold down R3, it automatically puts the auto combo on, and I must have just held it, not knowing.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that. Yeah,
putting it on auto actually made it harder for me to combo. I'm like, nothing's happening. I remember you saying that it puts a little auto in the top right hand corner, so it sort of like calls you out. And I saw auto, and I'm like, why the fuck does that say auto? I didn't put that on. And I turned it off and found that I was comboing a lot better. So if you're not saying I'm good, but if you kind of know how to combo, that'll make it harder. So I turned that shit off and did a little bit better. I managed to get that boss down to half before I cracked the shits and went I'm not enjoying this. I'm turning it off. But, like when I was talking about the cutscenes, not just a cutscene where they're having chats and all that sort of shit, even just walking into a new area, it does that really old school thing where the camera will pan all the way across a room, down a corridor, and kind of like show you where you need to go. And you're just like, fuck off and just let me play the game and find out which way to go by walking everywhere, like, or give me a waypoint or something. It's so old school. It just gave me the shit. Like, it's the Resident Evil kind of thing, but Resident Evil decided to leave all that shit in the past and move on. But Devil May Cry have just gone, no, I'm holding on to this. This is how it's going to work. But
is it because do you think it wants that legacy? See, for me, I played the old ones, or I think it's been 11 years since the last one, or something along those lines, and I played them. I kind of enjoyed them, but that wasn't my thing back then. My thing was always the first person shooters. So I didn't get really into it. So playing this one, it was kind of refreshing, and the fact that I button mashed. I don't deny that at all. And that was just one thing I found to be enjoying. And the over-the-top nature of it, the big explosions, the shit flying off everywhere, the blood portals. Did you have to go through any of the blood portals?
What is a blood portal?
So when you walk up to it, it kind of looks like a vein. And what it's doing is it's actually dragging blood from all the victims on Earth up through this vein and into where Niffle, or whatever his name is
Oh, I don't
staying.
think so. Don't think so.
So you walk into it, it makes just god-awful noise, and then you go along through this vein. So you're just sort of shooting along the blood chute, and then get shot out the other end, covered in goop and whatnot, and away you go. That sort of side of it, and all those Squirrels just said in the chat, the over-the-top nature, that's what sort of drew me into it and where I could just enjoy it. Because I was just switching my brain off. I didn't really care about the story. A lot of the cutscenes I was fast-forwarding through. I was just enjoying the game for what it was.
Yeah, it was like I never played any of the originals. The only one I played was DMC when it was remastered on the PS4 or whenever. I played it on the PS4 anyway when it was remastered, and I really enjoyed that game. I got into that, finished it, and played it beyond finished, and went back and did some of the extra things. Really enjoyed it, which is why I thought I'd really enjoy Devil May Cry 5. I don't know if it's different or if my gaming habits have changed, but I couldn't get into it at all. Look, the graphics are amazing on it, but that's about where it ends for me. And even the cheesy nature where she picks up that severed finger or whatever it was, and Nero, was it Nero?
That here, I can use it.
Was his name Nero? And he says, "Oh, do you know where that's been?" And she goes, "You're a bird."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a bit of that. Yeah.
That's what turned me off this game, because I mean I love the first one and I played it back in 2001, but this doesn't represent yes, there's a big jump between the first game and the fifth game, but it's such a big jump that I just went, yeah, no, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with what it's become, because it doesn't look anything like the first one, and I don't mean graphically. I mean like the sense of the game, it's cheesy, and it's got this really I don't know how to describe it other than using the word cheesy, but the dialogue and the cutscenes just seem overtly over the top and dumb in my opinion. So I don't know.
Yeah, but look, just I don't know. Were you going to say something else? Because I lost what I was going to say. Come back to me, miss.
No, that's it from me. I am trying to put through a video review. I got about 90% of it done last night, and then my computer crashed, and then nearly ended up the window. I'm surprised that you didn't hear me. I don't really have anything else to say. It was mindless fun. That's how I sort of took it. Some of it was annoying.
I remember what I was going to say.
V. Did you play as V?
No.
The character V. Okay, but you saw him, so you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, is that the dude with the walking stick?
Yeah, this little emo dude that he just feels weak. And the more I played with it, I think I said it last week as well, he feels like he's the weak link when you sort of put it together with, Nero and Dante, who are these big in-your-face characters. Nero's more of a sort of stand back and fight. That's probably the only thing that got to me, because his fighting style, because he's using demons to fight for him, it's kind of cool. It looks spectacular, and you can pull off some pretty cool combos. But just that style and his nature as a character, I found it to be the weak link in it. That's probably the biggest thing. Other than that, it was like it ran fine. It played fine for me. I did play it on easy mode, but it still ran fine. So.
With the guns, I don't really like the idea that the guns aren't a useful weapon. They're really a combo tool. They're just something to keep combos going. They do absolutely piss all damage on their own.
Yeah,
and I just don't like it.
See, whereas in the first one, the guns were like your main weapon, and
the guns are still the same massive guns that you used in the first one. They're their favorite guns.
Yeah, but the whole point of the first one was upgrading the guns with different god powers, and then using those to.
You've still got that option.
Yeah,
you've still got those options that you can upgrade them, but again, they're not the main weapon. For Nero, his main weapon is the Demon Breakers, which is his false arm.
Oh yeah, those things.
Which you've got all different types. I kept hitting the wrong button and blowing them up, so they're pretty much useless to me.
I couldn't work out how to switch between them.
R2, L2, I think.
I don't know.
You can't, apparently.
You can't? Oh, well, that fucking explains why I couldn't work it out.
There you go. Just blow it up and the next one comes up.
Yeah, oh well. No, not a fan. I'm done with it already. I'm finished.
Oh,
look, just reading the comments in the chat, it seems like this is more of a game that's designed for people who enjoyed the anime of Devil May Cry. It's become more about the anime, which I can see how that's worked. Like, I'm sure the first game really wasn't anything like the anime, which is probably why Lucas and I really enjoyed it. But apparently, this over the top cheesy sort of is more tied to the anime itself, and maybe there's a lot of fan service in this game, and maybe that's who it's for. So
one game from me that I've been playing a bit of is, well, prior to other things happening this week, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. My other game, which my one frustration of it has been that it's been a lot of downtime since it went live. So I've been playing Modern Warfare in the background instead.
the only difference this time is you can't sort of just walk downstairs, turn on Grejio's PS2, load it up on his, and just have him sit there and just practice target shooting at him in a private match.
Yeah. Yeah, these ones move. No, it's good, you know. I'm not doing too badly. It takes me a couple of games to warm up, but yeah, generally it's been going on pretty good. And a lot of people that I've been sort of match made with, like, I'm not getting a lot of that negativity that you sort of get in other ones. Like Black Ops 4 is pretty full on when it comes to people swearing and carrying on over game chat, and I'm not getting it with Modern Warfare, probably because it's, you know, older. I reckon a lot of people that are playing it played it the first time around, so I'll take that every day of the week.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't mind playing it a bit. I haven't bothered asking you this week because I figured you'd be tied up with a little certain game.
A little certain game, yes. Well, there's been a couple. I think I've probably put about maybe 2 hours into it this week. So not a huge amount. It's just been ones where I sort of sat down thinking, oh, yeah, I'll jump in, and it's been servers are down. But, yeah, just sort of kick it off with a couple of rounds. Grejio, time to take us on an adventure, mate. So I've played this game. I need to hear your thoughts on it.
All right, so Adventure Time, Pirates of the Enchilada, or however you pronounce that word.
I can pronounce it now. Do you want me to say it?
Go for it.
Enchiridion. Enchiridion. I don't know what an Enchiridion is, but I can say it.
But we can be pirates of it.
I mean, Pirates of the Enchiridion. Look, it's a cute game. I won't lie. Like, if you like Adventure Time, you're gonna like this game. If you don't like Adventure Time, you probably won't like this game. But it's kind of an open world, a very closed linear open world, where you Finn wake up with what's the dog's name? Why can I not remember his name?
Finn and
Jake.
Jake, that's it.
Hey.
Jake.
I was waiting for you.
Yeah,
I was waiting for you to start singing the song.
No, I wasn't
What
going to.
song?
Anyway.
I don't know.
Jake the dog and Finn the human.
Yep.
Anyway, the song. All right, yeah, cool.
Excuse me. Anyway, so you pretty much Finn and Jake wake up to find that the land that they live in is flooded because the Ice Kingdom has melted, and you have to go off on an adventure to help save the kingdom and all the lands around it. Anyway, so I played this for a little while. I played through a couple of levels. It's pretty basic. I mean, I won't lie, this is not a game that I enjoyed tremendously, and not because I don't like the world or the characters in it. I do like Adventure Time. I'm not a massive fan, but I can see the appeal. I like you run around, you smash stuff, you find loot, you level up. The combat is turn-based. While I don't generally mind turn-based, this felt a bit two-dimensional. It was a bit meh for me. But
it's simple, which is probably why I liked it, because it's simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like overly complicated turn-based combat either. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Give this game its merits as well. You like, as much as there's a lot of undertones in Adventure Time, it is still a kids show.
Oh, so and
this game is definitely aimed at the younger audience.
And yeah, that's what I was about to say.
That's kind of where it all falls into place.
Does anybody else get the impression that Snoogs is like on damage control for all of our complaints tonight? Gretch?
What?
Maybe.
I don't like it. Yes, but it's not that bad. I hate it. Yes, but keep this in mind.
It's called discussion, people. Come on.
Yeah, no. I was coming to that point. I don't particularly like it. I found it the combat a bit boring, but that is because I think it's aimed for a younger audience. It's got to be easier to play. It's very forgiving. If you find yourself in a fight that you can't beat, you can always just leave it, smash some more stuff, because that's all you got to do: smash stuff, find coins, and pay for more upgrades, and come back and beat them. It's not like you get stuck in a hole. But in that way, it does feel a bit grindy. Oh my goodness, it can be very grindy at times.
They had me at John DiMaggio as the motorbike dog.
Yes.
That's Bender, baby.
He's great. And yeah, that is cool. You know, Jake does turn into a motorbike. You can ride around just so you don't have to run around with Finn all the time. But you also get other characters, like I got the vampire chick. There'll be someone who tells me, Marceline or something. I don't know.
Something along those lines, yeah.
I'm sure Az will point it out to us, but or maybe Skrill. I don't know. But yeah, she's pretty cool too. She's got an axe that allows you to smash. Like, there's these hidden treasure chests, so you have to unlock her so you can then smash them, because you need an axe to smash them. But yeah, other than that, it's kind of get on your ship, sail around to an area, jump out, walk around, meet people, do side quests, do the main mission, then jump back in your boat, fight any enemies that are on the water with your cannon once you get that, and then rinse, repeat kind of thing. So it's a very simple game. Look, it's a good time killer. I'm happy to sit and play it just to waste time. But yeah, it's a good game. I think it's good if you got young kids. It's a good game for that. Like, I'd let my 4-year-old play it. He probably have no idea how to play it, but he's much better at Forza. Yeah. He's getting ridiculously good at Forza, and just between you and me.
I'm starting to think your boy would probably do better than me at Devil May Cry 5.
Like, he does. He gets very excited when he plays, so that might help. Maybe that's what it is. You got to get excited. Got to tell him.
All right, Lucas. Trials.
Trials Rising.
The trials have risen.
Speaking of a game my 4-year-old loves.
Yes, well, so the dust has settled on Anthem and all games that I was interested in, so I decided, right, I'm going to pick up Trials Rising. And I decided to pick it up on the PC, because I figured nobody else is really going to get it, so I'll just jump on my PC and I'll be able to make some videos nice and easy on it, and see what it's like. And I saw a lot of reviews and things like that before I picked it up, and I wasn't really going to let any of that sort of dissuade me or anything like that. But a lot of the reviews were actually quite poor for it, because people were complaining about the grind. Because in the previous games, you unlocked new tracks with the amount of medals. So it'd be like, right, you need 70 medals, either bronze, silver, gold, platinum or whatever, to unlock X track and blah, 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 and it goes up. But instead of the medal system, now it's an XP system, so you need to be level 50 to unlock these set of tracks, level 62 to unlock this set of tracks and bikes and so on. And I started playing the game, and I didn't really notice it too much, because it starts off and the levels that you've got sort of just ease you into the next set. And then, then it does hit. There is a section where you will hit probably around level 50, where then you've got no new tracks until level 62. You're like, ooh. So basically, you have to go back and play all the same tracks and do what are known as contracts. And the contracts are kind of like modifiers. So you'll go back and it'll say, right, to earn the contract or to complete the contract for this track, you need to do a wheelie for 20 meters total, and you need 30 seconds of air time. So you just race the track, and you've got to tick those boxes. You tick the boxes, you do the contract, you get an XP bonus. And then there's some of them that get really hard, where they say, catch up to this player who starts about a quarter of the way through the track and do 20 meters of wheelies and get fucking 30 seconds of inverted air time. So not just air time, you need to be upside down. And those ones, you just, look, eat a dick. That's just too hard. Because while you're focusing on trying to be upside down and getting the wheelies, old mate's getting away and you've got to try and catch him, and it gets really hard. But it's you don't have to do every single contract. They're kind of like, what would you call them? Kind of like, I don't know, like just little side missions. You can go do a different one. There's plenty of tracks there unlocked by this stage, and you just go and pick a different one. There's all these different people in the game, and they ask for different contracts. So those examples I gave you would be from one person. And then there's a different person who owns different tracks, and they might have different agendas. So they want different person, instead of doing wheelies, they want you to do backflips and front flips. So they're like, right, do 15 front flips and 15 backflips before you finish the track, and those sort of things. And yeah, it is a little bit of a grind, but for me, I'm actually going back and playing these tracks because I want to learn the track. And at the same time, I'm doing contracts while I'm doing it. So for me, it was part and part of the course, like it didn't feel like too much of a grind. Before I knew it, I was like, oh shit, I'm up level 62 now. I've unlocked the next set. So then I moved on to the hard tracks, which are really good. But to say, is it a worthy upgrade from Fusion to Rising? Mate, the tracks in Rising have pushed the boundaries again. There was one level that I did, which my comment was, and I think I played it while I was streaming, this is some Uncharted shit right here. There was a level where you're on an aeroplane. You're playing, the track is inside an aeroplane. So one of those cargo ships. So it's all hollowed out in the center, and there's a track. And there's a section in it where you lose a bit of altitude, which sends your bike off the track, sort of like a gravity loss, which was really cool. So you got to work that into your track. And then there's a bit at the end where the back tail part opens up. You know those ones where they can open up and then slide shit out the back to parachute out? Well, it did that, and there was debris falling out of the plane that you had to use as part of your track. That's, like Uncharted 3, where that happens?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
where you
I actually got anxious watching you play that.
Oh, did you see that bit? Did you?
Yeah. And I've played. I think I actually played that in the beta as well.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, and well, you guys know what I'm like with trials. It's just frustrating as all shit for me. So watching you go through it, and I could feel myself twisting the controller in my hands, and I wasn't holding one. You did well, mate. You did well.
Well, see, I have had some frustrating moments. I did rage quit one night, but the thing is, it's my own expectations, my own frustrations. It's not the game, because I was on a track where it's an easy track. You could finish this track easily. Any of you could, but I'm striving to get 0 faults and the fastest times. And when I keep stuffing up, people are probably watching me going, but he didn't even stuff up. Why did he reset? But because I didn't do it perfect, I didn't get it the way I wanted to get the best time. So I restart. And this one, I just couldn't get it. I was getting tired, frustrated, and I just had to fucking switch it off. Because, I think I have done some damage to my controller already. I've thrown it twice. The right trigger sticks in now, so I'm going to have to pull that apart and find out what's wrong with it. This is my Xbox One X controller too. It's the newest one I've got. But yeah, no, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. Biggest disappointment though is the global multiplayer. Mate, there's no one playing it. That's the thing. Every time I do that, I think it's 8 players max. I might get 4 if I'm lucky. Most of the time I get just me and another person. And mind you, the other person I think is playing it holding the controller in their feet.
Okay.
Because I was getting cocky. I live streamed earlier tonight before the podcast. I was getting cocky on a track where it recommended the the Mantis, which is like the U-Butte bike, trials bike. I thought, you know what? I'll see if I can beat him using the pushy. Smashed him.
Sounds like a fair.
Smashed him. Mind you, he's probably 8, the poor bastard's probably just like, oh, I can't win, Daddy. And here I am doing it on a push bike and beating him. But yeah, I'm loving it. I absolutely love it. And that's about it, really. Oh, not to mention the community tracks. They're sick. Did you see the video I made with the Ace Combat 7 track?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
You actually fly a friggin' jet.
Cool.
Yeah, it's check it out. There's a video. I'm glad you guys support our own channel. Glad you guys have seen the video. But it's been up there for near on a week, and have a look at it. It's the Trials Community Challenge Community Tracks video that I made, and there's a Super Mario Kart track on there as well, which is really cool. I've just went and picked a whole bunch of cool tracks, and went and finished them. So check that. Oh, except for the Ninja track, that one can fucking eat a dick. Not ninja as in the...
There's lots of dicks being eaten tonight.
Not the Forza, not the Fortnite guy. Ninja tracks are the tracks where you have to complete the track without letting your front wheel touch the track. So you have to wheelie the entire track.
Yeah, that can eat a big one.
Yeah, otherwise your wheels fall off. So, no. No good.
That's interesting.
But yeah,
all right,
I
you
love
sound
it.
like you're on a roll, so let us know about the Surge.
The Surge. Okay, I was playing... Well, actually, I don't think we were playing anything together, but I was chatting with Repremier the other day, and we decided to do the family sharing thing again with Steam. Mm-hmm. And he has the Surge. Now, I played the Surge a while ago on the PS4, and I loved it. Finished it on there and absolutely loved the game. I thought, you know what, I'll have a bit of fun with this because it's on PC. You know how easy it is to hack the shit out of PC games.
Well, you've got a program that does it for you, yeah.
Yeah, that's how easy it is. The program does it. You just literally go, click, unlimited health, click, upgrade everything, click. And it was, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a bit of fun with this and play the Surge. And I was just running around, just doing whatever I wanted. I just couldn't be killed. It was actually really good fun. And it's amazing how fun modding a game can be. You know, obviously, that kind of game, it'll ruin the game. If you've never played it before, it'll ruin it because there's no challenge. It's just doing stupid shit. But I've finished it. I've experienced it all, and I'm happy to say, you know, I did it legit. So I'm playing through it using the WeMod program. Download it, WeMod on PC, and it'll mod your games. Only single-player games. Doesn't do online multiplayer stuff. So there's no... It's fair stuff. It's only going to mod your own game. And it was really fun to just take my time and have a look at things that normally I'd be freaking out to do. I just absolutely demolished everything. It was good fun. That game looks mint on a PC too, mind you. Oh, that is a really good game.
Okay, well, last one from me is, of course, the one that I bitched and moaned about last week, being The Division 2.
Finally arrived.
So I ended up getting The Division 2. We recorded on Monday night. It was supposed to be released Tuesday. I picked it up from the post office, 4:45 Wednesday afternoon. So it wasn't too late. It got here. It's all done and dusted and beautiful, and the special edition's awesome, and the statue looks good. And my download, you know how there was all that talk about how massive the downloads were?
Yeah.
Mine, when I checked mine, it was only like 17 gig. Well, that's still a fair chunk, but nothing towards the 50-odd gig that was supposed to be a day one download. Yeah,
look, there might be a difference between install size and download size.
Oh, my install, the call was that the download size was 48 to 52 gig, and the install size was 88 to 92 gig.
Oh,
my
okay.
install size is 91 gig, which is that's fine. I've got 3 terabyte to play with. I don't care. So the install size was still there, but the download was didn't seem to be as big as it was supposed to be. That was fine. I ended up playing it Wednesday night. And I have to say, as soon as I jumped back in, a lot of different things compared to the beta. A lot of stuff was different. The gameplay and everything is all still very familiar. It's The Division. It's a sequel. And they're not going to go too crazy with that. The big differences, though, that I noticed was it seemed to be a little bit more polished than the beta. It ran a lot better. I've had one Delta, which was Friday night, which would have been, the first night everyone was on.
What's a Delta?
Delta error. Sorry, so it's just like a Delta 03 error or something along those lines. Where it just boots you out of the game, like boots you back to the title screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the game itself is fantastic, and I was trying to think today how to describe the difference between the first and the second. The first division felt like it was all about survival. You were trying to survive the city. You were trying to take it back, but the story kind of felt like it was a survival thing. This one kind of feels like you're in borderline revenge mode, and you're sort of trying to empower the city and go and take it back and get, you are powerful. They know that you're powerful. You've got this sort of thing behind you. It's kind of a different sort of mind space. I think that's probably the easiest way I can describe it. But every main mission that I've done so far, it all has its own little thing, whether it be fighting in a historical area or fighting in a planetarium where the lights are still all on. So you've got, pictures of the Earth shooting across the screen in front of you while you're shooting someone that's poked their head out through a hole up on the roof. It's not bad at all, I think. Probably, yeah, fun.
Well, it's receiving some pretty good praise. I've heard nothing but really good things around the internet, and which is a good thing. It looks like they've just grown from the original game. Original game was good, and
this is a grow. It's definitely it's a sequel. It's an improvement. One thing I noticed on Twitter today was one of the guys that's the head of Massive. He put out on Twitter, and he's like, the feedback that the community has given them has been absolutely phenomenal, and it's all been constructive. So we all know the sort of shitstorm that was Anthem when that sort of kicked off. The Division, don't get me wrong, it's not without faults. It has plenty of them. It's got plenty of bugs. There's still sound issues. There's issues with the specials. There's issues with your gadgets. So you could try and pop your turret and it'll just automatically die and go into a 15-second cooldown. So it renders it useless.
It sounds to me, and look, I'm throwing this out there. I don't know if it's fact, but I feel like everybody was waiting for the Division to come out, and regardless of whether it had issues or not, they wanted to praise that and not Anthem because everybody hates EA.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
Yeah, and look, not taking anything away from the Division, I'm sure it's great, but all of the hate that Anthem got, I really think that it's because it's EA was the publisher and not because it was so much worse than the Division.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And it's just that the community that has been around the Division, like everyone's praising it. And the big thing that has frustrated me has been the downtime.
Oh, like when the servers are down?
Yeah. So I started Friday. Thursday night it was down. Sorry, I started Wednesday.
But how long are
these? It was down.
How long are these things out for?
3 hours usually.
You see, that's too long. That it should be like I could cop an hour. But what are they doing that takes 3? I know I don't understand the servers and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm sure there's cooldown and boot up times and all this sort of crap that goes into it. But the big thing that's the annoying thing is that 3 hours starts at 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, because of the
and finishes at
times.
10:30 p.m.
It
And
happens
it's because of the time difference. So
Yeah.
in the US, it's 1:30
Yeah, which is great.
a.m. Yeah, so it works for them.
Yeah.
And I know we're at the other side of the world where we're only very, very small, and this is the launch. So they're going to be pushing through patches. They're going to be tweaking. They're going to be doing all this sort of stuff. And it's going to take that time. It's just frustrating that when you try and get on, and at the moment, like, I'm really enjoying the game, but I'm only level 11. So I haven't been able to have as much time as I've wanted to in it.
Would the server down issue be better in Australia on Xbox because they have Sydney servers?
They've got Sydney servers on PlayStation as well, I believe.
Oh, well then
So
why does that... I really don't understand how this will work, servers and
because
shit.
they shut up. Well, yeah, it's the only thing I can understand is that someone brought it up today that we should do a rolling fix. So at 1:30 a.m. they go down OS, so it's 1:30 a.m. That's when they all drop. But there's obviously implications of doing that around the world. So I don't know whether there's, when it gets back to, after it's launched, after they've got that stability back, and people start to get into that routine that happens with looter shooters. They were doing updates on a Tuesday night, same as they would with Destiny, the reset sort of night. And once they do that, it's just one night a week. Yeah, don't bother playing it that night. But we'll get there eventually.
I don't know. It confuses me.
Yeah, it's confusing. I don't understand why it has to be that long or that time or anything like that. But last night wasn't too bad, but Saturday night they shut down from 7:30 till 10:30 on Saturday night, and a lot of Aussies that are playing a lot of Division and tweeting about it they lost their shit.
Yeah, shit time.
Fair.
Saturday night and 7 to 10. That's crap.
But for those that want to have a look at it, I did get the Dark Zone edition, which has an absolutely gorgeous statue in it, and the unboxing is up on our YouTube channel.
It is.
So get over there and have a squiz. All right, guys. Any other news? Any other games that have popped into your head as we've been yammering along?
Yeah, it's not out yet, but I've been following it very closely, and this is my favourite. Other than Toe Jam and Earl, this game is my favourite game that I've never played, and it's Generation Zero. I'm hyped for this game. You think of Fallout mixed with Horizon Zero Dawn, mixed with an 80s horror flick.
That's probably a good way to put it, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's set in the 80s in Sweden, and you customize your character to wear all cool fashions from the 80s. And
please tell me you can do denim on denim.
Absolutely, denim vests,
double denim.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah, you can. I've pre-ordered it on Steam, ready to go. It's a 4-player co-op game as well, and basically you go in, there's a story there for you to follow, or you can just do whatever you want and then come back to the story. It's basically very open and very carefree with what you do. You can do whatever you want. You go and get as much loot as you can to protect yourself from these machines, and that's it. You just go do what you want, and you can discover bits of story along the way, and it just hit a note with me, and it looks absolutely amazing. Can't wait. We're a week away. It comes out next week on the 26th, and yeah, I'm keen for that one. I've put a video up on our YouTube channel as well with a little bit of an overview showing what it is, and I'm getting comments on that video. It's actually quite a popular video compared to what my videos usually receive. But yeah, it's got some comments on there, and I also tweeted out the other day saying that I'm all ready to go for Generation Zero, and the Generation Zero guys actually tweeted back to me saying, because I said I'm excited to play the game, and they said we're excited to see what guys down under or whatever think of the game, what you Aussies basically think of the game. And that was really cool to have the actual devs reply to my tweet. And then there's a few people that are jumping onto my tweet saying that they're looking forward to it as well. It's grabbing some traction, but it's very under the radar, this game, and it's coming to everything. It's not just a hidden Steam game. It's coming on PlayStation 4. It's coming on Xbox One, but not many people know about it. I'm going to get the word out there. I think it's a great game.
See if we can get the devs sharing our thoughts as well. That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
And they like what we have to say about it and share it around.
Yeah, I'll tweet at them with my my thoughts when the video when I no doubtedly will make a video on it.
All right, guys, let's jump into our next little bit. All right, no news this week.
No news is good news.
Exactly, no news is good news, and it is episode 250.
Yeah, let that sit in for a bit. 250 episodes, and we do them weekly. There's only 52 weeks in a year, although we don't do it every week of the year. That's a long time.
Yes.
And for those playing at home that may not be aware, the episode count rebooted at episode 43. So technically we're close to 300, technically.
Well, mate, guys, to celebrate this milestone, because it is a massive one, and you know, I've had a few people comment on tweets and that the amount of episodes is just massive. We have had over the last few weeks, we've seen some long running podcasts close their doors, which has been an absolute shame, but we're still going strong, which is always good. So I wanted to look back over the past 250 and get some of your favourite pieces, favourite episodes that you remember, and just sort of have a go from there and have a bit of a reminisce moment. So I'm going to start with you, Lucas, being the longest serving member, being this is your baby, really.
Mm-hmm.
Right, why don't you throw us one of your favourites?
Okay, this is going back to one of the oldest that I've got. This is the date that this was recorded was the 3rd of June 2013. Okay, and if I can try and remember who the hosts were, I believe we had Reprimere, we had Thorncliffe, who's your brother Snoogs.
Mm-hmm.
We had was it? I don't know if Milesy was on there, but I think we had Chapo as well. But anyway, so we've got these guys in the show, but we also had a special guest for this episode, and it was a really late recorded episode. I think we started at maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, because our special guest is from the London, maybe somewhere in the UK.
Yeah, he's in the UK, isn't he?
Yeah, somewhere in the UK. And he was a video game developer, an indie developer of a game called Go to Hell Dave. And unfortunately, it was a game that never came to fruition. It never came out. I did get a copy of it afterwards and got to play it, but it never actually went to market. But because it was really late, poor Sean, who worked really early that day, got a little bit tired, but I've got the snippet from that show. So have a listen to this.
Has anyone actually heard from Sean lately? I mean, is he like asleep or something?
Bed? Probably.
He's still in the call, but he's like,
hang on, let's just be quiet. Let's just be quiet. See if we can hear snoring.
Nah, his icon's not lighting up, so he's not picking up any audio. He's probably asleep.
Passed out. I think Sean wanted us to say Zeus. Was it Zeus that he?
Yeah, Zeus.
From God of War. I don't know, God of War 2 maybe.
There we go. I heard a snore. In the jungle, the swan sleeps tonight.
I think it would have been better if the first person to ever get paid to sleep.
Okay, so there you go. That was the night that we had a special guest on and one of our hosts fell asleep. And yes, Skrill, I forgot to mention, I was going to mention beforehand, it was recorded in 2013, so the audio quality was pretty shit because we were just starting out. That was episode 14, but that was episode 14 of the Aussie Gamers podcast. We were just Aussie Gamers back then. There was no Express or Experience or anything like that. That was before the reboot. So that was literally the 14th podcast I'd ever done. How good was that?
This is classic.
I can just imagine you all sitting there really quiet waiting for it and then having a snigger when you quieten down again.
Yeah. It was so
and funnily enough, we were talking today and I'm like, okay, so this is one of my favourites. And you're like, nah, I'm using that one.
Yeah, well, that's it. You gave me a call and you're like, oh, yeah, if you could get like a couple of snippets from the show. I'm like, yeah, I've already done that for my ones. And you're like, oh, the one I want you to get is the one where Sean falls asleep. I'm like, already got it. That's the best. I probably should have saved that to last because that's the best one that I've experienced. The funniest moment, Sean falling asleep. He'll go down in the history books for that. But yeah, he was up at probably like 4 a.m. and it was really late.
Yeah, he was doing, I think, 12, 14-hour shifts back then. And
Yeah. So, but it was was funny.
Was it back at the Sexpress days?
No, that wasn't the Sexpress days. It was just the Aussie Gamers days.
Thorncliffe was calling it the Sexpress.
Yes.
Later on.
Yes, later on. Yep. Once it became Sexpress, but it wasn't at that point. That was too early in our days. And our voices sound a little bit more youthful.
Yes, definitely.
It doesn't have that weight of everything on top of it. All right, well, Grejio, mate, being our youngest member, like youngest serving member, I should say, let us know one of your favourites, mate.
Well, I might start with the earliest one I've got here too, which was episode 190. Which, funnily enough, I wasn't an official podcast member at that point in time, but I was a guest. We went away for the weekend to the Gold Coast for the EB Expo, and we did, at the end of the weekend, we did a wrap-up episode.
Yep. And
Rem, I, Rep Premier, and you two, all five of us, were in the same room doing the podcast together. And we had some really, really good moments in there. Like we had the joke that I used to open it, my very first joke on the podcast, which was the snowman joke. So what's the difference between a snowman and a snow woman?
I don't know.
Snowballs.
No. I was going to say position of the carrot, but...
No. And then Rep Premier just bombed the whole thing with, I thought it was the policeman and the carrot. and we all just lost our shit. Like, kind of completely bombed the beginning of the podcast.
Nice.
There was also the conversation of the cheese coffee.
Oh, yes.
Your trip from you guys driving up.
That was the live stream, wasn't it?
Yeah. The live stream.
It was
at the beginning.
Dick cheese, was it?
yeah, something like that.
Oh, that's right, because we're stirring it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, stirring it. Yeah. Let's not
go there again.
Let's not go there again. And then we had the moment where we were sitting there. We went around and talked about all our least favorite games, and then it came to, you said we should take turns one by one talking about our favorite game, and then I suggested that instead, how about we all just say it? We'll count 1, 2, 3, and then say our favorite, because I had a funny feeling it was going to go the way it played out. And so you agreed and said, all right, let's do that. And in unison, we all said the same thing. Not one person faltered. And we all said Detroit all at the same time.
Yeah.
And once again, we all fell over in stitches because when you're sitting in a room together, that's kind of funny. So, but yeah, it was just a really good weekend. And yeah, had your Gerald jump as well. Like we had a ball with that. Like, as much as everyone probably had a ball listening to it and watching the video, we really did enjoy making that making that jump.
Yeah. What did they have to do to get me to do it? Oh,
Didn't I have to type Gerald onto the Facebook comments? Or
yeah, there was a certain amount of people had to comment.
15,000 or something comments or something.
Oh, no, it wasn't that high. I don't think we've had 15,000 comments on anything. Maybe 15.
No, it wasn't that many. It might have been 50 or something.
No, it was 15, and then there was 50 to do it naked. I'm pretty sure.
Was it?
If you go back and listen, because I listened to it today, it was 15 and 50.
Thank fuck it wasn't 50. We didn't get to 50.
And that's why I thought. That's why I thought it was higher, because I would have thought 50 would have been an easy stretch to get.
Oh, I don't know. Glad it wasn't, but geez, we didn't need that to happen.
Yeah, because I got in trouble because you jumped on the podcast and went, so Snoogs, who is such and such and such and such? And
oh,
such
yeah.
and such?
All of a sudden, your mum and your sister and everybody's on there typing Gerald.
People from work.
Yeah, that's right. You had your workmates on there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
He roped in as many ringers as he could. But yeah, like the reason I say that one, it was more just the weekend. We had a really good weekend together. So
yeah, it was a good weekend.
It was good fun.
Yeah, it was.
All right. Well, one of my favourites that's always stuck in my head is Eric Bra.
Eric Bra, yeah.
Yeah, he's the voice of Draven, isn't he?
That's right.
Yeah,
Draven from League of Legends.
League of Legends, yeah. So he came on and as a special guest, and you and Red interviewed him, and the man knows what to do, and he knows how to present himself, doesn't he?
He does. Yes, he was a very good chat. Now, the idea was that we're going to chat for half an hour and probably edit it down to maybe 15 minutes. No, the whole half an hour went in. It was that good.
He just started and went off. Have you got any bits there?
I do, yes. This is episode 166, and this went to air on the 4th of April 2017, so a couple of years ago, right? Have a listen. We are here today with a wonderful voice actor, so why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the lovely Aussie Games Express community?
Well, g'day everybody. My name is Eric Bra. I'm a voice actor known for a lot of video games and some commercial work and toys, but I guess most of you might know me as Draven. Yeah. And so I'm entertaining myself doing stupid little voices, stuff from like South Park, I hate you guys. Well, children's. Stuff like that. And so I would do all kinds of different little voices. I do impersonations, come on, do it, get out of here. Guys, listen, I'm just trying to tell you, you're going to want to smash this wall like all day.
It's with the walking,
So, but I did have a voice that was kind of like this, and I said, yeah, that's right, I'm a badass. I did a game, actually, we did the first episode of Duke Grabowski, the mighty swashbuckler, and he's not exactly the brightest guy. All I know is the crew told me I have to go woo 3 ladies. I don't know what wooing means, but I'll give it a shot.
There you go. That's it. There's a whole 30 minutes of that, and it was very entertaining. So if you want to, they're still available on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Radio, all that sort of stuff. Episode 166. So go and check that one out.
All right. Well, Lucas, you got another one for us, mate?
Yes, I do. This one was your first episode. I think this was your suggestion, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. No, I was going to say my first episode where it was a, all right, Snoogs, well, come on in. We want you to be a bit of a full-time. I'd already done a couple of episodes at that stage, but it was my first one as a full-time podcast host.
Yep.
And, yeah, just having the chat as we do prior to starting most of the time. And halfway through my bitch session, yeah.
Have a listen. Episode 178 on the 20th of July 2017. Let's have a listen.
The new body.
New desk, new chair, new body,
new
everything. What's wrong with you? You're getting old.
I'm getting fucking old, I think. Either that or it's just because it is cold in here. I'm still recovering, so everything's just that. You know that I'm still a bit crook ache. That's kind of what it is. You're recording this, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah. I just saw that. Just listen to the old bastard ramble. Yeah.
This is Snoogs coming to do the podcast with us, co-hosting for the first week, telling us about how old and creaky his bones are.
Oh, the bones are not the only thing.
Oh, you sad case. That's the shit that we get seemingly before we start recording. How you been today, man? Oh, fucking
It takes me a little while to get going.
That's it. Get the engine revving.
Greg, you got another one there, mate?
Well, yeah, I might as well keep going in chronological order. So only 10 episodes after the last one, which was episode 200, was my first podcast officially as a host. That was fun. I became one of the pod people, as you described it, Pat. On that episode, we also gave away a prize that was worth 87,870 yen.
Yes, I remember that. You said that.
Lucas and I had our first argument about being selective or being a hoarder on Game Pass.
Oh, yes.
On Games of Gold. Xbox Gold membership. Every month you get free games. Now, here's where the argument begins.
Oh, so infuriating.
Are you like me and go, I only download the games I'm interested in? Or are you a hoarder and download everything, whether you intend to play it or not?
No, but it's free. It's not just about downloading them, Greg. You don't have to download it. Purchase it and have it in your library for that one day you think maybe I might try it.
What if it's complete and utter poo? What if Wanda was on there?
See, that's where the hoarder part comes in. Fair enough, I would take that anyway.
But lies the argument.
No, but why is that a problem? Anyway. Why is it a problem? It's not taking up any space on my Xbox because it's not downloaded, but it's attached to my account should the one day... What if somebody comes up and says, hey, did you know in Wanda, if you press up, up, down, down, circle, square, it becomes a good game? And you're like, shit, I should have got it. What happens? If that comes out, you look at IGN one day and it goes, guess what? That absolute piece of shit is now playable. Oh, I didn't get it because it was rubbish. It was free. I had the option, but because it was poo, I ignored it. But now it's the most amazing game that's grossing millions, 5.5 million people, more people that are playing. Everybody that was playing PUBG is now playing Wanda.
In that extreme case,
but you don't fucking have it because you didn't want to spend $0.
If it's that good,
huh?
If it's that good, I'll pay for it.
But you didn't have to.
But you're telling me it's the most amazing game now, so I'm happy to pay. I'm happy to pay money.
Yeah, to fix your fuck up of not getting it when it was free.
Sorry, at the time I made the decision that it was terrible and wasn't worth getting.
The only thing that you are saving by not getting it is your lazy fucking press the button to buy.
So that was a good argument. I did my first drum roll, which completely spun Lucas out. He's like, "What the hell was that?" I did the. You also told us all about your game, the game you're playing. What was it? The one where you had a little lizard tail improves you a bit. What was it? The Shadows of the Colossus.
Oh, yes.
You remember you were talking about you kill the lizards to get better grip strength?
Oh, yes.
But it doesn't tell you that?
Yes.
And when I made the joke, it's like V, only lizard tails. Yeah, a little lizard tail improves you a bit.
Yeah.
And I realized that I told you that I'd explained to you way back then why I didn't like tire shine on my tires when I had my car washed. And I've never explained this to you, I don't think. So I think it's about time. 50 episodes on, I think I should explain this to you.
I've lost so much sleep over that. Please, can
so
you?
Want to know why I don't like when people put tire shine on my car?
Yes.
is because when you drive away, the tire shine is always still wet and it flicks up on your guards, so you get black stuff on your guards, which means you've literally rendered a car wash useless.
What the fuck has that got to do with anything?
Well, it came out of
Well,
that
it's 50 episodes late, so we're not really sure.
Well, it came out of the hoarder thing because you were like, you were talking about you were getting it for free, so why wouldn't you just take it? You seem like the kind of person that would, after a car wash, tell them that you don't want tire shine on your car, even though it's for free. I said that's kind of a bad example because I don't like tire shine on my
Did
car.
I say that?
Yes.
You did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
as soon as you said that, a little voice inside of me groaned. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Well, that's where you got to put the tire shine on when you're at home.
You physically groaned. You didn't. It wasn't inside.
It wasn't inside. I actually.
Because you went. I know it. Actually, no. That's a example.
Hey, here's a short story. I won't keep this. Will be short because it's got nothing to do with anything. But I used to work for a company where we built trailers, right? And we would literally spray paint the tires black instead of using tire shine.
Oh wow!
God.
It was spray paint because we had a spray painting booth because we spray painted the trailers.
They had to spray paint them because they just got and picked the tyre up from the wreckers. Yeah.
They fucking look like they were from the wreckers because I used to have to run. I had to run a wire brush over the rim to get all the dirt and muck that was like this thing's sitting in a landfill for 10 years. Wow. So I'd have to get all the muck off. Yeah,
and then you'd spray paint the rim, but at the same time just spray
do
paint
the tire. Do the tire too, yeah, because then it looked nice and black and shiny. And then 3 kilometres down the road, it's all cracked off and looks all shit.
Wow,
that was going back over 10 years. Jeez, that was a
all the
dodgy.
bearings had sand in them to keep them quiet. Yeah.
I used to do the bearings as well.
Did you pack them with bananas?
No, it was grease. We had grease and a grease gun.
Oh, you could afford grease. Cool. All
yeah,
right, cool.
I used to play with the grease because it was like one of those oddly satisfying moments where you would do a little swirl of grease out of the gun, and it would go, and you're like, oh, that looks cool, but you don't want to touch it because that shit's impossible to get off. But anyway, that's nothing to do with anything. So let's move on. I got another one. I got another little clip here.
Yeah. Well, you pinched my other one, so go for it.
Yeah. I forgot I had this one. It's just, I think it's almost the same every single week with you, Snoogs, and Greg. Both of yous. Fucking go and see a doctor. Oh, seriously. All right, have a listen.
There was a run there, wasn't it? Where it was just, let's cough.
Let's just cough.
All right.
I have seen a doctor. I've got pills to help stop that now.
Yeah, for fuck's sake. God. Oh, shit. God, get a doctor for Christ's sake.
Oh, it's fucking reflux. I should be a toddler.
You guys have been sick for like a month. God. Seriously. Get some health care.
Seriously, I have not coughed all day, and then the moment that I put this headset on, I must be allergic to it. I start coughing.
Time for a new one.
Yeah, I bring out the shit and phlegm in people. It's a lovely superpower of mine.
Nice.
What do you reckon? Is that a sufficient way to start a podcast? There you go. The amount that the noises that come out of you two, and you know what? This isn't something that. Here we go. You right?
Yeah, I was laughing.
Oh, I thought you were about to start coughing. The funny thing is, out of the three of us, and at the time, I don't anymore, but at the time, I was the smoker. And you guys are the ones coughing your guts up all the time.
Well, that's because you're using your lungs more.
Yes.
You're exercising them.
My lungs are fitter and healthier.
It's us mouth breathers that are slowly killing our lungs by not using them.
That's the next thing. Not smoking causes cancer. I haven't had a cigarette since November last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's where you encourage that. It's good behaviour.
Well done, mate. That's fantastic.
But I've been using this vaping thing instead.
I was going to say, you've been smoking you look like a chimney, though, with the vape.
But it's a start.
Really it's like, did this steam train just go through the house?
But yeah, so good on me. All right, well, that's all the little sound bites I've got. Have you got any more in mind that you want to talk about?
We did have a suggestion from Rem, and you might need to put a soundbite into this, like editing. Lucas, can you put a soundbite in? We've had some great special guests over the time we've been doing this, over the years, really, and not too recently we had Uncle Chunt on.
Yes, he was on episode 204, I think it was.
202.
Beautiful.
202, beautiful. Thank you. That'll help editing Lucas a lot.
Yep.
All right, and so Uncle Chunt, we kind of just let go, and absolute gold.
Yeah, we didn't sack him, as in, mate, we're going to let you go.
No, we just let him run with it, and it was good. You know, someone else to fire off, and some of his very filthy, hello, this is Uncle Chunt.
First topic, nice easy one, is Last of Us characters.
I haven't played the game.
Well, that's going to be hard for you, isn't it?
Shit.
Lucky there's a special guest round that you should be really good at.
Shit.
What's that 9?
So we had to give names of all the characters, eh?
Yeah, as many as you could.
Oh, get ready for randoms.
Did you just name them yourself?
So, Mr. Chunt.
Yes. Get ready to be enlightened.
Yep.
Here we go. Ellie, Troy Baker, Clickers, Page, Naughty Dog, Mushrooms, Apocalypse, Dog, PS3, Sony, Bloke.
Alrighty.
Bloke.
Division exotic weapons. How many can you name?
Oh, fuck.
Ready? Go. Mr. Uncle Chunt, what did you get?
Right, prepare to be enlightened. Okay, we got Gun Bang, Shooter McGavin, Pow Pow, Pew, Bullet Bill, Purple Popper, Thunder Lightning, Ebony Ivory, and Chainsaw Lancer. How about that?
You can come back anytime.
Thank you.
Add those to your list, Greg.
Yeah, add those to my list.
And that was, what was that? One of the first of the rapid fire question rounds.
It was Mental Machine Gun. Yeah,
Mental
That was
Machine
the first
Gun.
time I tried Mental Machine. The first and last time I think we played Mental Machine Gun, because it didn't pan out to be such a great spectator sport. It was great for us, but yeah, just sort of
listening along. It was too much dead. When we got to the answers, it was kind of funny, but yeah, it's sort of. Then the following episode, 203, which is my next favorite, had what I think was the best game we've played ever.
The
it's
sound
the first time
one.
we played Reverberation.
Reverberation, that's right.
I
there you go.
re-listened to it today.
Squirrel misses the Reverberation sound intro.
I don't even remember what it was. I'll get it. Keep talking, I'll find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fill us in about Reverberation again, Greg.
Well, it was the first time we played it, and for those that have missed out, go back to episode 203 and listen to it. It's actually in the notes. If you look in the notes, it'll give you a time stamp for it. Anyway, it was a game that Rem and I came up with where we pitted Snoogs against Lucas, and they both took turns at mimicking game sounds. And one had to do the game sound, and the other person had to guess it. And sort of I put it as tanking the game, but it became the Snoogs clause very quickly afterwards. Was to stop people from just like doing a shit sound and not being able to get the other person to guess it. They had a second chance where I then had to do the sound. And if they still couldn't get it, then the person making the sound got the point. If they guessed it, then they got the point. So for the first, I've re-listened to it. I wrote down what you guys had to do sounds for in the first one. So Pat's first reverberation was the Mario coin noise, which was funny. I specifically pitched high. I specifically
you picked all the high
pitched
stuff for me. Yeah,
high pitched stuff for you. Then Lucas had to do Pac-Man. Then you had to do Roman from GTA 5, which was I have to admit that was one of my favorites.
That was pretty spot on.
You nailed it, and you put Lucas's name in there just to hide it a bit better. But I wasn't sure how you were going to do it, but when you did it, I thought that was cool.
Hey, Lucas, you want to go bowling?
Yeah, exactly. The one that I think is actually the best copy of anything was the next one Lucas did, which was going into vats from Fallout. It was so good.
Oh, yes.
It was so spot on. I mean, you didn't guess it, but as soon as we told you what it was, you kicked the shit out of yourself over it.
Yeah.
Lucas, sound number 2, please.
Number 2, all right.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, actually, I'm impressed.
I'm impressed.
Oh, it's a door opening. Isn't it? But what's it?
What? Hang on. I'm going to add a little. I'm going to add a little bit to it.
Yeah, no, you can add to it.
No.
No, that's going to throw him off because it doesn't sound anything like it. That was the select. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know what you're trying to do.
No, I got nothing. No,
all right, Greg.
It was spot on. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And then you had to do Wolfenstein, which you balls that up hard. I'm not even sure how you did what you were doing in that one, but you were doing the background music or something.
Do 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 do. Yeah. That's about all I got for you.
Yeah.
Instead of the actual the actual game itself.
Guten Tag. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I was doing the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing the background sounds, yeah.
And then Lucas finished up with doing Abe from Abe's Aussie.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And as a side note, on that episode, you know how back then Lucas used to do an intro and he used to change mine every week?
Yes.
I was apparently the adult of the group that week. In which I replied, "Sup."
Yeah.
So,
hey, I've got the reverberation intro before we forget. Is that the one? Nah, you're thinking of a different one. That wasn't the standout one.
No, the standout one was Gaming Disorder. That was my favorite.
Oh, that was the one where it was you, wasn't it, Greg?
Well, no, that was Who Dat.
That was Who Dat.
Who Dat.
Oh, I got Gaming Disorder. Was it that one?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah, that's the one. Everyone loves that.
Yeah, Skrill said it was, Disorder.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I re-listened to that game today and it's still just as funny as it was the first time.
You know what? There's something that I've missed for a very long time, and probably if I had more time to prepare, a lot of the rapid fire quizzes would have made it into this episode. But that's something I'm going to put together for a future episode. I'll be coming back to the podcast a little bit more frequently than I have been soon. The things in my life that have been taking up all my time are nearly finished. And then I'll be back. Probably won't be every single weekend because we want to try and keep it to Mondays, to the show. So every Monday that I'm available after everything finishes up for me, I'll be available and I'll come and join. If you want me.
Yeah.
That might mean some more reverberation coming back.
Yeah, but I'll definitely be putting together some rapid fire quiz because that was too fun. That was good, but there needs to be at least 3 of us.
Well, that's good stuff, mate. Well, yeah, so those listening along at home, be sure to go and have a squiz at the back catalogue. So we've got now 250 episodes there, either under Aussie Gamers Experience or the Aussie Gamers Express. Make sure you have a check it out. There's plenty there. Have a listen, have a laugh. There's been some very good times, I must admit. It's something I look forward to every week, so it's a very good thing to do.
Just a heads up, the first I think 43 episodes aren't available anywhere now. There are a select couple that I've picked and put them on YouTube of the first episodes, like the very first episode. That one's there. And there's a few of my favourites that I've picked and put on YouTube. But those first 43 aren't available. However, I can make them available at request if you want them. Hit us up if you do.
Awesome.
And as for comments about this segment, if you've got your own little particular part that you loved the most, send us a message and we'll have a listen and maybe we can feature it at another show.
Or maybe we can put it together on YouTube or something along those lines.
Something like that.
Anything else, guys, or jump into some last words?
Last worded up.
All right. Well, carrying on with the theme for the podcast for the 250 episode, a couple of shout-outs. So, as I said previously, we've had a lot of special guests that have joined us. There is too many to go through, so just a big, broad thank you to everyone that's joined us along the way. Everyone that's listening, that's another shout-out to everyone that's listening, because if you weren't listening, it wouldn't be as fun. Wouldn't have that meaning to actually have people that enjoy listening to us. And I thought I'd give a bit of a shout out to some past hosts. I don't think I've got everyone, but I've got the ones that I remember, and I'm sure, Lucas, you can fill us in on anyone else.
Yeah, sure.
So big shout out to Ramutha. Obviously, she's still around, but just having a bit of a break at the moment. We've got Red, who was here for quite a while.
Yeah, he did a good couple of years. I think 100, 150... I can't remember now.
I'm not sure, but he was around for a while. He's still floating around. Thorncliffe, as we've heard from, well, we heard him snoring anyway, and of course Reprimir, and I think there was a couple of others, wasn't there, mate?
Yep, we've had Chapo. Chapo is a good bloke. He was around in the early days. We also had Milesy, Insane Milesy. He was quite a funny dude back in the day when he was on the show. And also Sandy. Sandy was absolutely amazing. I am sad that we lost her. I don't fully understand the extent to why she left, but she had her own reasons. But she was amazing. She was actually really, really funny. She was a cool chick. And I really hope that's it. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. Oh, shit, that'd be bad if I'd forgotten someone, eh?
Yeah, I suggest Sunday afternoon there might be some angry tweets.
Maybe. Well, provided they still listen. But look, I want to say something. We're 250 episodes in, and although the hosts that have come and gone, some of which that I've lost touch with and don't really talk too much anymore. And whether or not this reaches them, well, not much I can do about that. But I just wanted to say that I've got to thank them. I've got to thank each and every one of you all, current, past and present and all that sort of stuff. Well, that's the same as current. Without the efforts that were put in by everyone, the show wouldn't have been what it was at the time and what it is now. And even if there was some issues that went along there, the work that you did for the podcast and for Aussie Gamers was brilliant, was perfect. Everybody we've had on has been fantastic, and I extend my thanks to them, because they've all done some amazing work.
Well, we wouldn't be what we are without them. So
yeah.
Grejio, any other last words from you, mate?
Shout out to Mr. Sainsbury. I was just cruising Instagram today, and I saw one of my cars pop up on my Instagram feed, and it wasn't one that I put there. So just a shout out for him, giving me love, giving me
some love,
putting me out there through his circle of friends. So yeah, I appreciate it, dude. I've already commented to say it personally, but I just want to chuck it up here. So
awesome.
Thank you.
Good stuff. All right, Lucas, any other last words, mate, before we kick on?
Just quickly, this would be for long-time community members of Aussie Gamers, but Leo Bones has reared his ugly head. I think you mentioned him last week. He's got himself a Twitter account.
He got himself on video today.
Yeah, he come over. I don't know if you guys know, but Leo lives next door to me in the mess next door in a caravan, and he well, it started off where he was hacking into my Wi-Fi and using my internet for ages, which is where I met the bloke. At first, we sort of had a bit of an argument, and he wanted to smash my head in, and I wanted to run inside and hide because he's scary, mullet and all that sort of shit, and he's flano. And he's always got a bottle of beer in his hand, so he could so easily just smash that and, use it.
I don't think he would smash the bottle of beer.
Oh, he'd scull it. He'd scull it first.
He'd scull it first.
There he is. That's a picture of his cousin. That's his cousin up in the chat. And so that's how we got talking. And then he sort of turned in. How's this for an old reference? Do you remember Hey Dad?
Yeah.
He's like fucking Nudge.
Oh.
Wow.
He's like, remember Nudge? He's like that pain in the ass neighbour that's just always there now, but has kind of become a friend. So he comes over all the time. I hope he's not fucking listening through the walls. But he come over today and asked me if he could use my camera and all that sort of stuff because he wanted to do a video for Twitter because he doesn't have all the shit. Yeah, that's right. So I let him come in and use my shit and all that sort of stuff. But I wasn't sure what he was doing, so I stuck my head in while he was recording and had a look so he can sort of catch me in the back of his video. But so if he's funny. I guess he's funny. He's a mouthy prick that might offend some people, but take him lightheartedly and go and check him out on Twitter. I think what's his Twitter handle? Leo Bones U, just the letter U.
Leo Bones U. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, he wasn't jerking it in front of the camera. Fucking, that's why I stuck my head in just in case he just wanted to watch some porn.
Just in case. I think he was going to watch it or make it either way.
Hence my appearance. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Go and check him out on Twitter. I'm actually a little bit pissed off about it because he's fucking got some followers. He's got 56.
Yeah, they've all jumped on, haven't they?
56 followers already for this bloody bloke. But anyway, that's Leo Bones. That's all I've got. Thank you.
All right, mate. Well, while you're going, throw in a bit for your other show.
That other show. There's what 12 episodes going at the moment. 20-minute short show. Get your whiskey, get your leather-bound books, and your mahogany somethings, and have a listen. It's a short show about video games, and it's available on Apple iTunes or whatever it's called, and on YouTube as well. Greg, did you listen to the latest one? Probably not.
Not yet, no.
For fuck's sake, whatever.
I did.
Why? What?
Go and listen to it. There's a bit there, obviously, for you.
Okay, then.
Expecting maybe that, my own team members would support our own team.
You just got to get there.
20 minutes of your life, buddy. And do other things while you're doing it. Just don't do freaky shit listening to me. That'd be weird.
It's all right on the way to work.
Because I know Rem's asked you a few times to put it on while you're in bed.
Yeah.
I hope you say no.
Well, to be fair, you've got the story right. It's just slightly wrong.
It was you saying put it on, and she said no.
That's right.
But I've got to listen to it. I don't have much free time.
You're coming to do stuff while I was doing.
Oh dear.
To be fair, it's 20 minutes long, and we'll only be 5 minutes. So.
Oh dear, that's all right. Oh shit. But anyway, that other show, it's called. It's on iTunes and YouTube. Go and check it out.
All right. Well, thank you very much to everyone that has listened to the show, and especially those that are still listening this far along. A super special thanks to our live listeners who have been chattering away, and I kind of got lost there in the middle because I didn't know if they were asking us questions or spouting lines from The Office. I think they were spouting lines from The Office.
I don't know what the fuck they were doing. It was just...
There was a bit of that, yep.
Yeah, so we got Az, Kaza, and Skrill. Maybe both. Yep, definitely The Office. There you go. Thank you very much. You guys are always here, and it's always brilliant to have you around. Greg, Lucas, thank you for helping me out to host this week's show and for all the help and wonderful things that you do in the background. To all of our listeners, feel free to continue any of the topics that we have discussed on this show on our Facebook page or Discord channel. Links are in the podcast show notes and descriptions below. That's it from me. As always, I am Snoogs.
And I'm Lucas.
And I have been Grejio.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Fucking Leo Bones just got 3 more fucking followers. Whew. Okay, that's the end of this week's podcast. And if you found yourself shouting at your speakers in disgust or maybe even in pleasure, make your way over to our Discord server and make a comment in the appropriate channel. Failing that, you can also have your say over on our Facebook page, or you can just tweet at us. Searching for the Aussie Gamers Experience will usually lead you in the right direction, but you could just use the set of links that are in the show description. This podcast is available through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, and plenty more. Thank you very much for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode of the official podcast of the Aussie Gamers Experience.